Well, I am actually live on YouTube for the first time that I can actually remember. I am actually doing something live on YouTube. And what am I doing?
Well,
Hello,
I am
my
actually.
name is Dustin DeBoer of Solid Rock Life and Family Coaching. And I am so excited to be coming to you now live on YouTube. If you like this video, feel free to actually subscribe down below and be informed of when I actually do more of these and when I post more videos, which this year in Solid Rock Life and Family Coaching, I am going to be doing a whole lot more by video. And I am super excited to be able to actually do that for all of the people who are going to be following me. Now tonight, what I'm actually going to be presenting on is the third part of a three-part series that I have been doing on my mission statement with Solid Rock Life and Family Coaching. The first part was actually on helping people to understand what I meant by being a real success for families. And REAL stands for relationships, equipping, attitude, and leadership. I'll get more into that in a little bit. But the second part of my presentation was on helping other people excel in faith, family, and freedom. I'll cover that more in a little bit as a review. And then tonight is all about the stage that matters most, your front door. Thank you for joining me. And I'm sure there will be many people who check this out. And I am excited to be able to share with you all about the stage that matters most, your front door. NBA coach Pat Riley said, "Sustain a family life for a long period of time and you can sustain success for a long period of time. First things first, if your life is in order, you can do whatever it is that you want." There is definitely a correlation between family success and personal success. Not only does building a strong family lay the foundation or the groundwork for future success, but it also gives life a very deep meaning. I believe that few people have ever been truly successful without a positive and supportive family. No matter how great people's accomplishments are, I think they're still missing something when they're working without the benefit of those close relationships. True, some people are called to be single, but they are truly rare. For most people, a good family helps you know your purpose and help you develop your potential. And it helps you enjoy the journey along the way with an intensity that isn't possible otherwise. And when it comes to sowing seeds that benefit others, who could possibly derive greater benefit from you than your own family members? If you have a family, be sure you aren't neglecting them as you pursue career success. Now this came from the Maxwell Daily Reader on December 23rd. This is not the only book that I have read this year, but it is a 400-page book. Well, I should say that I read last year now. It is a book that I've learned many things from, but at the end of the year when I reflected on what matters most to me, I couldn't help but focus again on not just being successful myself, nor just on the family I am creating. But I wanted to help and share this with other families so that they could learn to be a real success and then help perpetuate that very idea. Yes, first you have to start with your own life, making your life a success, and then working on your family life. But there isn't any career success without family success. Now the question is then, what does that actually look like? Well, it's a matter of keeping up with the Joneses, right? Is that living an abundant life? Is it serving people who are less fortunate than you and I? Is it doing what you want with your family when you want to, how you want to, no matter what? Is it giving a certain amount of money to charities or a church? Is it that you just have good careers and are climbing up the corporate ladder only to get to the top of the ladder and realize it's leaning against the wrong building? Or is it hoping for a breakthrough so that you can just make it to the next month? Is it that your kids are good in school and other public places so that you don't have to have people look at you and go, what are you doing with your kids? In homes of those who are successful, do they have dream boards up everywhere? Well, better, yeah, what is even a dream board? Do successful families have the nice things in life, or do they just get by? What do their marriages actually look like? How do successful couples treat one another? I know, hold on, I know what they look like. And they read books on personal growth and development, and they listen to positive, thoughtful things on either podcasts or audios or webinars, and they go to leadership conferences several times a year and surround themselves with people who are just going places in life. Right? Well, here we go. Successful people just copy those who are successful. Right? As I said at the intro, in the first of these three series of presentations on the purpose behind Solid Rock Life and Family Coaching, I shared about how I actually came up with and what I mean by helping other people excel in faith, family, and freedom. I spent time explaining my thoughts on hope at such a time as this. Little did we think that COVID-19 would be going into 2021 like it is. Not only is there a medical health toll on us, but literally there is a huge social, emotional, and spiritual side of the virus, which is far more costly than the virus itself. We've now said goodbye to 2020 and hello 2021. As I shared in that webinar, in my second one, I had a great 2020 in many ways, and 2021 is going to be even better for me. It is the hope that I am focused on in my second webinar. I also spoke to the 3 pillars of my coaching practice in that webinar that I did in December, which you can check out here on my YouTube channel. I talked about the practice of faith and how if that vertical alignment is not in alignment with our Creator, the grand overall designer, or as Wallace D. Wattles says in The Science of Getting Rich, thinking stuff beyond ourselves. Or as I personally say, Jesus, God, Lord, the Messiah that many around the world just celebrated the birth of in the last week and a half. If we have not acknowledged our need of a Savior, then life is truly out of alignment. Now, many will not agree with me on that, but in my coaching practice, what God's Word says about humanity and their greatest need is what I actually go by. I also base my principles and my practices on the inerrant, without mistake scriptures that were given by God and are profitable for doctrine, for reproof, and for training in righteousness, according to 2 Timothy 3:16 and 17. It was also written by the very hand of God through the hands of men, as 2 Peter 1:21 and 1 Corinthians 2:13 talk about. That is the basis of my coaching practice. I then went on to talk about what I meant by family. I mentioned how I am a youth, marriage, parenting, and family coach. I have over 25 years of experience in working with youth and adults through different ministry experiences, as well as teaching in various capacities in and outside of formal education in the classroom environment. I also talked about the upcoming programming that I'm going to be doing in 2021 for children and youth, as well as adults. I talked about how a family unit needs to be one that has a mission statement. And then I took 40 people through a process to actually help them put together a family mission statement. I love that experience of sharing how to help other people do what their family and being intentional about leaving a legacy. So again, I really want to help families do that. We need it individually, but we also need it as a family so that we can know where we intentionally are going to be leaving our legacy. Since that webinar, I have actually read another article on legacy. Let me share it with you. UCLA Bruins' most winning coach of all times at 92 was asked about his legacy and how he wanted to be remembered by those who knew him. Quote, he said, "I certainly don't want to be remembered for trophies and national championships," he said without hesitation. Then there was a rumble of surprise that ran through the audience. For a long time he paused, thinking. Finally he said, "I hope people will remember me as one who was kind and considerate of others." All of us were humbled by the simple wisdom that he displayed, and we were reminded of the important difference between values and just mere things. John Wooden achieved professional success beyond what most people's wildest dreams were. Yet he wanted to be remembered for his treatment of others. Someday, you and I are actually going to die. I know, big news, right? Let the press rolls run. We're going to die. And eventually our lives will be summarized in a single sentence. What do you want yours to actually be? Claire Booth Luce cleverly called this your life sentence. Now, if you are intentional about creating your legacy, people at your funeral won't have to wonder what your life sentence was. Eleanor Roosevelt remarked, "Life is like a parachute. You've got to get it right the first time." Honestly, none of us gets it completely right. I think we all wish we could go back and make some changes in our lives, yet we can choose to live our lives from today forward in such a way that we can continue to make a positive impact on others after our death. We can create a legacy worth living. I spent some time on that because not only is it true for the individuals, but it's also for the family to define what success is for them. And that is why I challenged the 40 people from around the world who went through that challenge to come up with their own family mission statement. In my other presentation, I talked about freedom and how we are at a precipice in our society of what that really means. I shared with those who watched it and those who watched the replay here on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook business page what I meant by freedom and not having to make decisions all the time based on the merit of the dollar bill, but on the things that really matter in life. I stated I would talk more about that in this webinar, and indeed I actually will. In the first webinar, I explained what I meant by the second part of my mission, helping other people excel, or helping people be a real success, which stands again for relationships, equipping, attitude, and leadership. Between the two webinars, I shared with you my layout for all of 2021, starting with January 1st, 2021. Just to review, I am going to break the year down into the 4 main compartments. Real, relationships, equipping, attitude, and leadership. And then I will talk about the 3 main areas of the family unit this year that I'm focusing on within those 4 aspects. Those 3 are the marriage. Number 2, moms and sons. And number 3, daddy-daughter. I will be speaking to them based upon the books and other experiences that I gather, but the books will be based upon the books by Drs. Les and Les Parrott, Dr. Emerson Eggerichs, Dr. Meg Meeker, and Dr. James Dobson's books. Between those authors, there are well over, I venture to say, close to 200 books probably on the market. I don't think I can read all of them in a year. I regress. I did 41 last year, and I'm working on 50 this year. But I want to make the point that what I'm doing is reading, studying, and applying exactly what I am learning. As soon as the opportunity comes, I actually seek to apply it. Trust me. When you are on the lookout for it, you will find them. Seeking or finding is reserved for the seeker. Now in this webinar, I turn to the third part of my statement, which is so you can be a real success on the stage that matters most, your front door. Otherwise known as, well, your home. Matter of fact, it's probably where you're sitting right now if you were listening to this live. Not too many of us are at work on a Saturday night. But my point is this, that I took this much time to introduce this topic because everything I have said to this point leads into a big crescendo each time I say it. For the last half of December, like I said, I took people on that journey of the family mission statement. I was reminded of the family mission statement that Shannon and I came up with and are seeking to live into. We, Shannon and I, have designed a family crest, which we did when we actually started dating, because I stressed to her that I don't just date just to have companionship, but to do so as a step towards a lifetime of love, as both Shannon and I now talk about with Symbis. We have nailed down our 5 top core values, and to go through that process alone is wonderful, but to do it with your girlfriend, fiance, wife, and then the kids, oh, even better. Because then your family is on mission and is being intentional about what they do. Shannon and I have chosen today the legacy we want others to know about. And we are actively seeking to live into that legacy through the practice of our daily habits. John Maxwell points out in Today Matters, the secret of a person's success is determined by their daily agenda. He further states in Leadership Gold, which I just finished on the 31st of December, I think it is also safe to say that the secret of your legacy is determined by your daily agenda. The sum of how we live each day becomes our legacy. Add up each action over the course of many years, and you can see your legacy beginning to make form, or to take form. The same, I say, can be said of families. Add up each action over the course of many years, and you will see the legacy that the family is bringing into existence. Either you choose it, or it is chosen for you by your daily routines. What will yours be? A third thing that Shannon and I did and have done is to truly appreciate the value of a really good legacy. I like what John shares about his third point. Charles Ketterling, inventor and one-time head of General Motors Research Division, stated, "The greatest thing this generation can do is lay a few foundational stepping stones for the next generation." This is a great job in taking others to places they have never been and to heights they have never dreamed possible. As a leader, you have a great opportunity to do these things. I think the ability to create a positive legacy, John goes on to say, is greatly dependent upon a person's attitude. First, you must care about people. Second, you must appreciate how great an impact a good legacy can actually make. But you also have to have the right perspective. You must come to realize how unimportant you are in comparison to the task with which you have been entrusted as a leader. That requires a level of objectivity, maturity, and humility that many leaders never truly attain. Your goal as a leader isn't to be indispensable to the people you lead. It is to leave your people something that is indispensable to them. Let me speak very clearly here to men out there. Both the mom and dad are leaders in the family unit. But the ultimate leadership of the home, not just a house, and I'll explain the difference in a minute, is placed squarely on us. We, under the headship of God, are the heads of the household, whether we like that role or not. That is our function. We are to, through love and respect, edify our family. We are to properly build the self-esteem of our mates and our kids. That is why one of the books I am going to read next year, it's sitting right behind me, literally over on the shelf over here, right there, is a book that's entitled Building Your Mate's Self-Esteem by Dennis and Barbara Rainey. And not only do I want to read it and look at it and study it, but I might actually take people through it as a group study. We'll see. Stay tuned to my Facebook page and my other social media outlets to find out. Men, how do you love your wife? What are each of her love languages, and what are yours? How does she give love? How does she receive love? How do you give it? How do you receive it? How about your anger styles, or better yet, your fight types within marriage? Do you know them? Some of those assessments are totally free. And the ones that are done by Moody Publishing and Gary Chapman, who wrote the 5 love languages, are indeed free. If you have not discovered the 5 love languages, now is a good time to actually discover it with me this year. And you know what? It is truly fun to let you know about great books. And when writing a speech for the webinar, I realized that there were other authors that I really wanted to put on my list this year. All in good time, I will read the right books. But men, our families are where they are at, largely due to our leadership lid. Which, how do you know what that is? Well, I'm going to be giving a class on the 15 invaluable laws of growth, and it's going to be a complete mastermind for a 10-week study. I would encourage you greatly, if you do not know what the leadership lid is and how to actually overcome it through personal growth, to stay tuned to my Facebook and my Twitter and my Instagram and my LinkedIn profiles, as well as something on YouTube. I'll put something here too. But check out all the other media too. Let me turn the table a little bit and talk about the difference between a house and a home. At least from my perspective, which truly is the only way I can not just communicate with you, but also connect. It's called Through My Story. For 38 years of life, I had 2 loving parents. Mom passed away in 2013. Of those 38 years, 18 were directly at home. Of those years outside of that, I moved out east for my undergraduate in Bible with a youth ministries emphasis. After college, I never really envisioned heading back to Austin, Minnesota, but I did a number of times, and I lived close to where my parents did. But I also lived in Washington State, and I lived up in the Twin Cities in Minneapolis, St. Paul, where I ended up getting my master's in outdoor education, and where I have since gone on to get my life coaching certification as well as my marriage certification. as well as my youth and family and parenting and coaching training from the John Maxwell team. I've had a couple of male roommates over the years just to help with different expenses. When I was in Austin, I had a house. And now I live in my own apartment. As has been said many times, there are bachelor pads of all bachelor pads. There's no doubt about that. Some males are like that and just don't decorate it at all. Then there are some males who actually, well, one, put up just sports paraphernalia and make it a little bit more interesting. And then there are those males who truly like to decorate. And I myself, I mean, you guys obviously can see my living room. You can see that I think I fall between the second and third types. But this is still just an apartment, not a home. Shannon and I, after we are married, and only after we are married, will get a place together. And together, we will make it a home. Especially when we are both in the kitchen, sitting on the couch, sharing things back and forth, coloring in our coloring books that we have as adult coloring books. But until we are married, this is just a house, not a home. I need her touch in my world physically, socially, emotionally, and spiritually. I want her touch, and for Christmas 2020, we did celebrate it together per se as our first Christmas when we jointly set up the decorations. I won't forget that day as I felt like this house was becoming a home. Let me show you the tree, because I know you can't see it much because I'm standing directly in front of it. So you can decide. We actually decorated that together, and it was very special and a fun time for us to do that as a couple. Now, as you can see, I'll have to take it down shortly. Christmas is past, and we'll do that again together, Lord willing. But to make this place a home, the stage that really matters most, your front door, or for it to be a real success, certain parts of the equation besides a wedding are required. People spend so much emphasis on the day event, the one-day event, and don't always prepare for lifelong marriage. I already explained that the male is responsible ultimately for the family. But the Bible talks about the leaving and cleaving part of lifelong marriage. It actually starts in Genesis, literally. If you don't mind, it's the first love poetry of the Bible, if you will. This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. And then, according to Emerson Eggerichs, you have the recipe for trouble, according to 1 Corinthians 7:28. Emerson Eggerichs says this is partially the crazy cycle. I wholeheartedly agree, and yet I say that makes a house a home. Loving someone else in close intimacy and understanding their personality, strengths, weaknesses, spiritual gifting, deepest desires, drives, hopes, cares, and knowing them so well that when they're down, you can actually sing it back to them and have them respond properly. That's when you start to have a home. And not only with your mate, but eventually your children also. Now, there may be children already involved before that process. But if we're doing family the way God intended it, we will follow his manual, which says to not have sex outside of the marriage covenant. 1 Corinthians 7, 2-3 states, "But since sexual immorality is occurring, each man should have sexual relations with his own wife, and each woman with her own husband. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband." Now that sounds like a home, yet it sounds like trials and tribulations of plenty. Unless God, the grand overall designer, the Savior of the world, the Messiah, Yeshua, is really involved. Emerson goes into a great deal about that process, as well as Drs. Les and Leslie Parrott also cover it in a lot of their books too. And I am so looking forward to this year to read a lot of different books on the family and marriage side, as well as other personal growth topics. I'm trying to read 50 books plus this year, really. My point is this. I live in a house, but until I have a lady who lives here who is my wife, not my girlfriend, not my fiance. When she is my wife, I will have a house. I will seek to make it a home with her through the give and take process, which is really a love process. Shannon and I are talking through many different things that will make lifelong love. One marriage that will stand the test of time, where, like James 1, 2-8 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know," not because you guess, "because you know the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." A home then starts with the wedding between a male and a female, and they start an epic journey together. I have told you already how I plan on helping with that through the offering of the SYMBIS program, Save Your Marriage Before It Starts. And if you're at the point in marriage where you need a little bit of help getting up over the bump, I can also service that as well. There will be many other personal growth opportunities throughout the year 2021 that I am solely looking forward and with excitement and joy to be able to bring to you. Some of these will be, but they're not limited to, Bible studies, masterminds, webinars, classes, and more for all the different stages and ages of family members. I can say this unequivocally. I am looking forward to all that and put my background and more into my mission so that my destiny is manifested through aligning vertically first, like I talked about, and then horizontally with what I am vibrating to, which attracts the certain frequencies to it. Wallace D. Wattles in The Science of Getting Rich, as well as in Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, talk about that whole process. 2 books that, again, I'll be reading this year. I've already listened to The Science of Getting Rich 2 times through on audio, and I'm so looking forward to reading it. Let me just say this. I am seriously pumped for this year in my programming that I'm going to be offering on the coaching and personal growth and development side of my business model. But there is another side of my coaching practice that I am excited about as well, because it helps make a home a welcoming, healthy environment that in turn attracts others to it. While the emotional, social, and spiritual dimensions to making a house a home have been my focus to this point, I want to make sure you know how much I care about the health of the home in the sense of the physical space and the physical well-being and the physical health of the home. as well as those that are actually in the home. Part of the family mission statement that Shannon and I have put together is the following, and it will explain the basis of the physical well-being of the home as well as those that are in it. I'll then explain it in a little bit more depth for about 10 to 15 more minutes. And then if anybody has posted any questions or anything in the sections below where you see this video going on, I will check that and I will see if I can answer any of those questions. Shannon and I stated early on that as a family, we are destined to help other people and families to excel in faith, family, and freedom. All the while pursuing, and these are our top 5 values, faith, family, legacy, teamwork, and learning. We are geared to help coach families in life, family, marriage, relationships, and business and leadership coaching. As a family, we also help other families develop short and long-term assets, which will leave a legacy to future generations, not just of money and success, but also significance. Now, as I said, let me explain it just a little more. Families live in a place they call home. It's made up of walls, and the structure is also a place to gather and have fun with many others. It's a place where one typically raises kids. Well, kids are messy creations, and well, they make messes, and the home gets dirty. Typically, there's also yard work involved, and of course, some type of bakery or cake type stuff around as well. Now again, that's from my experience, and that is the perspective from which I teach, as again, we all usually do. So the kitchen is a mess. The bathroom, the laundry room, all of it needs attention, along with the other rooms of the house. And who makes these places dirty? We humans do. Home is also a place where humans reside and we breathe in. We drink in and consume what is on the inside of our houses. Inside of our houses, the air pollution is usually 2 to 5 times more polluted than the outside air. 30 to 40% of us have pets, and all the pet dander then that's in, and allergies that come with that. And 65% of us actually have animals inside the home, and 30 to 40% of us have the allergies. Sorry, got the statistics backwards. But the fact of the matter is, that's what we breathe in if we don't have an atmosphere system in the house, an atmosphere air purification system to protect us from all of those things and many more. Now, as for drinking water, if we don't have a solid water filtration system in the house, we are the filter for our water. As the caretaker of the building that I presently live in, I can tell you full well what happens when we have water breaks. The water infrastructure in America is aging, in all of North America. There are tons of pollutants and contaminants that are in water, and at least on our minds, which is why cities have codes. But if you look up the city codes for your water, you'll be amazed at what can still be in them. There's still probably potentially lead from pipes, vinyl chloride from PVC tubes and pipes, manufacturing byproducts, pesticides, herbicides, and endocrine disruptors. There you have it. Water and air are contaminated in our homes. The surfaces that are in the house also are potentially filled with contaminants that need to be cleaned in a natural way with cleaners that are safe for the environment, so that we can be proper environmental stewards of the planet long term. From the bathroom to the kitchen to the laundry room, we need to use products in our home that are good for our bodies, good for our environment, and at the same time, help us solve one of the basic needs, and that is providing families and individuals with an opportunity to have a side income of their own that they can run right from their own home. Not only do we provide people with that, we also provide them with the opportunity to be a wise steward with their earthly bodies and live as a true living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God. Let me give you some statistics here on the average adult in America. And I know there are other people from other countries who will potentially watch this. But because I live in America, I'm just going to use the American statistics. On average, 94% of adults don't get their body's daily needs from food alone, per the Global Phytonutrient Report, which is backed up by the World Health Organization's research data. That report also talks about how we need to have 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables in our diet. I know I don't get that, and I know that, and I am seeking to work on that this year in 2021. One way I am working on that is to take good quality supplements that are from Nutrilite by Amway. Why do I use XX multivitamin, multimineral, and phytonutrient? It's because without it, my body doesn't function as well. Having had cancer in 2001, living life with fibromyalgia, having had a mother that was a nurse for 45 years, and knowing the family history, I need to have supplements that fill in the nutrition gaps that can prevent other diseases, potentially, and that supply me with the energy, the mind clarity, and the overall well-being I need to service not just my own needs, but the needs of my family and those around me. I love XX multivitamins. Now, the entire lineup from Nutrilite consists of immunity products in this day and age in which we live, and they are critical to our health and welfare, right? The immunity products, like the extended vitamin C that comes from nature's highest concentration of vitamin C, are solitaires, grown on our own certified organic farms with the Nutrilite and Amway Organization. The solitaires are wonderful, but I can't eat them like I can just take a vitamin C that's made out of them. And it's wonderful to be taking and having helped me function real well in schools and more in this last year. There's another immunity product I have been on this last year off and on, and I've enjoyed it and tried it and thought it worked really well. It was also the Go Shield Gummies that Amway has come out with that help increase immunity with a blend of elderberry, vitamin C, and zinc. Put that on top of the other new zinc product, which is zinc and holy basil that they came out with, and you're really boosting your immune system. Put on top of that a natural-based echinacea product as well. All of these are great immune boosting products that are available to anybody who wants them. Now, last month on my Facebook page, I also posted every day about the need for better immunity. I also stated in there how much immunity happens within our gut. Ooh, our gut. That is also why I like XX, as well as the Nutrilite Balanced Within probiotic. That helps support immunity and healthy digestion. It helps our bodies as well as our digestive comfort and regularity because it contains 6.3 billion live probiotic microorganisms with 5 different strains. Put this with the natural fiber supplement that we have also from Nutrilite that contains 3 natural prebiotic fibers that are taste-free, non-gritty, and can be used with hot or cold foods, and you have a great lineup for great gut health. I focus on that here today because that is part of my daily habits. And again, your daily habit dictates where you are going in life if you don't dictate your daily agenda. Stated another way, I was talking from my own experience. I have so much to offer families in terms of good health through Nutrilite, but I don't have time here to talk about all of them and the great lineup of adult and children's vitamins that I have through Amway. Feel free to message me and let me know about how I can help your family in this regard. And if you are interested in the sports nutrition or weight management side of things, like I just registered another customer today who's interested in all of that side of things as well, contact me, because on the weight management side of things, I've lost 40 pounds of weight in 2 years and kept most of it off due to the Body Key system, walking some more, and having determination to do the right thing. These are exceptional products that can help you achieve your health management goals in 2021. This is just one of the 4 areas that are designed to help families be a real success on the stage of life that matters most, your home, your front door. I have a great lineup of skincare and cosmetics from the Artistry line, a top 5 premier brand of skincare, and a brand that services both men and women's skincare needs incredibly well. One testimony there is how much Shannon likes my facial skin, and others, of course, to be smooth and not all hardened and wrinkled. The men's Artistry line is incredible. And I am also using some of the Hydra V products on occasion, as I want to try different things to be able to give more product recommendations. I also want to try the facial masks with Shannon, because we agreed to do that as a party per se between the two of us. And I have also used the full body mask and hydrating gel that has come out recently with Amway. And they are incredible products during this dry season of life called winter. I can speak to more of the entire lineup of products, as well as the Pampered Pout. I also have business partners who do beauty consults, as well as I'm able to assist your needs through a virtual beauty app that the Amway Corporation has developed. I did that with the person that I registered as a customer today. If you want to know more about how I can help you and your family look and feel their best, let me know. There is also a great home care lineup of wonderful Safer Choice certified products by the EPA. I challenge you to look up what it means to be a Safer Choice product. Shannon, when she moved out of her apartment in October, at one point used another competing product. And that product, when she was in her studio apartment that night, gave her headaches and didn't allow her to sleep real well. I said, enough of that. I'm bringing over my products, and we are going to use them so that you can sleep well while you are still there. From the top to the bottom, we cleaned that apartment with all the Amway home products, as well as the Pursue disinfectant. She had been using the other harmful chemicals to start with, and like I said, suffered the headaches and so forth. My products that she used did not have her have that. And 30 minutes before the landlord came to check her out of the apartment, we had finished cleaning the floors one last time. There was no residue, there was no foul smells, nothing. And when he came, he said, quote, "This is the cleanest apartment I have ever seen on move out." He was also very thankful to Shannon and I, because he wasn't going to have to do much to actually flip that apartment and rent it again. Shannon now loves all of the cleaners as well. They work and are great for personal home use as well as business use. Now, Shannon has also commented over and over to me about how my clothes are seemingly so nice, and I told her they are not new usually in the least. But I use great quality products from the Amway Home Care line with them. Sometime again, look up that Safer Choice program by the federal government. And then if you want to use products that are Safer Choice certified and that have stood the test of over 60 years now, let me know. Another lineup that I have is that the personal skincare lines with bath and body products, the hair care line, Satinique, Oral Care, Glister, and G&H with the soap and body washes, and so much more. All of which I am using, and I can say that my hair has really done real well in the last few months of the drier weather. My hair is not dry, nor is my scalp. And my hands and feet, while using that body scrub and the hydrating gel, did incredibly wonderful. So did my feet, which are incredibly usually dry in winter. Through what I have to offer with both my coaching practice and with the Amway family of products from all over the country and the world, I have all of your family well-being needs met. I am excited to offer all of these products so that I can help your family be a real success on the stage that matters most, your front door. Let me summarize in a sense with the story that I started. So yes, you heard this already, but listen to it again, now through the lens of what I've all told you. NBA coach Pat Riley said, sustain a family life for a long period of time, and you can sustain success for a long period of time. First things first. If your life is in order, you can do whatever you want. And there is definitely a correlation between family success and personal success. Not only does building a strong family lay the groundwork for future success, but it also gives life a much deeper meaning. I believe that few people have been truly successful without a positive, supportive family. No matter how great people's accomplishments are, I think they're still missing when they're working without the benefit of those close relationships. True, some people are called to be single, but they are rare. For most people, a good family helps you know that your purpose is vital and develops your potential. It also helps you enjoy the journey along the way with an intensity that isn't possible otherwise. And when it comes to sowing seeds that benefit others, who could possibly derive greater benefit from you than your own family members? If you have a family, be sure you aren't neglecting them as you pursue career success. Solid Rock Life and Family Coaching exists to help other people excel in faith, family, and freedom, so you can be a real relationships, equipping, attitude, and leadership success on the stage that matters most, your front door. I am excited beyond belief about what 2021 is going to bring, because I believe that as a family and parenting and marriage and youth coach, I have so much to offer families that are in desperate situations and desperate need of all of the stuff that I have talked about in these 3 webinars. If you have any questions regarding what I can do for you or for your family, how I can help, how I can provide hope, please comment below or reach out to me and direct message me so that I can actually follow up with you. Now, let me just look here and see if there was anybody that was watching this live with me. Because like I said, I really want to make sure and find any questions that people have. If you do have any questions or comments, feel free to post them below. I look forward to actually doing my next presentations in a couple of weeks from now. Follow me again on my Facebook page, and you'll find out everything for sure. Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn are my other social medias as well. I look forward to doing more for you in this year and coming in 2021. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.